Germany. The budget is about $55 billion a year for the army. Armament: Leopard 2 tanks, Puma infantry fighting vehicles and M270 rocket launchers. Aviation. These are Eurofighter Typhoon and Panavia Tornado fighters. Germany joined NATO on May 9, 1955. Note that the Bundeswehr consists of a three-service structure, that is, of the ground forces, air force and naval forces. As separate components, in 2000, a joint support force and a medical and sanitary service were created. Ground troops. In Germany, they include 4 headquarters bases of the NATO multinational corps of the so-called rapid deployment, 5 operational groups in the headquarters of other army corps, Greek, Spanish, Turkish, Italian and French, 5 divisions and auxiliary units and units in the form of 2 tank divisions, motorized infantry division, airmobile division, divisions of special operations forces.
Subscribe to the channel, it will be more interesting. Thank you in advance.
The ground army of Germany seems quite impressive. In addition, if we take into account the firepower, compared to previous years, it turns out that with the current brigade of 5,000 people, the army is much more powerful and armed than before. In modern conditions of combat, contact infantry combat plays an important role, so a lot depends on the number of divisions. The size of the German army has recently been significantly reduced. We are talking about the ground forces now. It is 84,450 people, including those who study at military schools. In addition, since 2011, compulsory military service has been abolished in Germany, which has now become fully contractual and lasts from a year to 23 months. As of the beginning of 2015, the German army is conducting ongoing military operations in regions such as Afghanistan, 900 people, Uzbekistan, 100 people, Kosovo, 763 people, Mediterranean Sea, 800 people, Somalia, 241 people, Mali, 144 people, Lebanon, 128 people, Bosnia and Herzegovina, 120 people, Sudan, 10 people. The ground forces of the country have the following weapons: 1095 main battle tanks, 644 field artillery guns, mortars, and MLRS 2563 armored fighting vehicles, including 736 armored personnel carriers, 146 combat helicopters. The German army in terms of aviation consists of 38 Tiger attack helicopters, 118 Vo-105 attack helicopters, 93 CH-53G heavy transport helicopters, 93 UH-1D multipurpose helicopters, 39 EU-135 and 77 NH-90. The country's air force is controlled by the Central Directorate and the Operational Command in Cologne. The Operational Command includes 3 aviation divisions, but there are no training units in the country. Cadets are trained in the USA on their own technical bases. At the moment, the Bundesmarine is helping with reconnaissance and control of the Baltic Sea. In this state of affairs, it is surprising, but in Germany there is a powerful and advanced shipbuilding industry, which produces perhaps the best naval weapons in the world, submarines running on diesel fuel in the first place. These models are actively purchased by India, Greece, Turkey, South Korea, Venezuela. At the same time, Germany's own fleet is very small. The number of the German army in terms of fleets is only 4 Type 212 submarine trays, 13 frigates of various types, from old to modern. 2 boats are being built. Turkey. The defense budget is about $13 billion a year, joined NATO on February 18, 1952. Armament: F-16 Fighting Falcon fighters, American M60 Patton and M48 Patton tanks, Altay tanks of our own production and Hisar anti-aircraft missile systems. The Turkish army has 410,000 personnel. This figure includes regular military personnel belonging to all military branches without exception. In addition, the armed forces of the Republic of Turkey include about 185,000 reservists. Thus, in the event of a full-scale war, the state can assemble a sufficiently strong combat vehicle that will perfectly cope with the tasks assigned to it. The structure includes the following types of troops: ground, naval, air. To date, The strength of the Turkish army, namely the ground forces, is about 391,000 personnel. The formation is used to engage enemy forces on land. In addition, some special units of the ground forces carry out reconnaissance and sabotage activities behind enemy lines. To date, this element includes the following units: Army Aviation Infantry Artillery Special Forces, or Commandos. Ground forces are equipped with a large number of tanks. As a rule, these are Leopards of a German manufacturer or American military vehicles. Also in service with Turkey, about 4,625,000 infantry fighting vehicles. The number of artillery guns is 6,110,000 units. If we talk about the personal safety of soldiers, then it is ensured by sufficiently high quality and practical weapons. As a rule, fighters use NK MP5 submachine guns, SVD, T-12 sniper rifles, Browning heavy machine guns, etc. Turkey has an impressive submarine fleet, which includes 14 diesel submarines. Most of them were built in the 90s of the last century or at the beginning of this century in Germany. The Turkish Navy includes 19 frigates of various types and 7 corvettes. 7 frigates were built in Germany and belong to the Miko 200 type, the newest of which was launched in 2000. A few more frigates were handed over by the Americans, some of which are ships built back in the 60s of the last century. France handed over several corvettes to the Turkish fleet. 2 more ships, of the Milgem type, were produced in Turkey itself and became part of the fleet in 2011 and 2013. The basis of the Turkish Air Force is combat aviation, which includes 21 squadrons. Among them, 8 fighter bomber, 7 fighter air defenses, 2 reconnaissance. For combat training, the Turkish Air Force also has auxiliary aviation, which includes 11 squadrons, of which 5 transport, 5 training, 1 transport and refueling aircraft. The Turkish Air Force is armed with a large number of modern 4th-generation F-16C and F-16D fighters, more than 200 units, and more than 200 units of obsolete F-4 and F-5 aircraft, which they plan to replace with American 5th-generation F-35 aircraft. Turkish companies are involved in the development and production of this fighter.
Ты не забыл подписаться и поставить лайк.